The Great Dublin Bike Ride is back for 2022 and it's all happening on the 25th of September, starting and ending from Dublin City University. And joining me to talk about taking part is Nicolas Roche. So Nicolas, thanks a million.
Thanks, how are you?
Great, thank you very much. Before we get into talking about the Great Dublin Bike Ride though, we have to talk about you just for a minute. It's been almost a year since you announced your retirement from professional cycling. So how has the year been for you? What have you been up to?
I've been up to loads, actually, a lot more than I could ever imagined. Obviously, Dance with the Stars took quite a big chunk of the year, all the way up to end of March. That was great to be back in Ireland for almost 4 months. And then I went into doing some commentary, and I worked for a couple of brands in the cycling business as a brand ambassador. And then I'm also a manager and a sports director with a team called Trinity. So I've been back and forth, starting a couple of times, which has been nice. I was also able to go back in June for almost 2 weeks, but I'm really looking forward to coming back now in September.
Did you take a break from the bike at all? Did you have you missed it?
No, well, I slowed down during Dance with the Stars because I just physically couldn't handle it. There was so much training involved that there was absolutely no time or strength for me to go and do everything together. So during the couple of months that I was here in the winter, I kind of backed off my training. But then once the spring came around in April, I was able to get back on the bike and get a bit of fitness back, which I strongly needed it. I did miss it. Not so much the racing part, but I just needed to go on the bike because I use the bike for everything. When I need to clear my mind, but also when I need to evacuate stress or when I need to get a good exercise. So it's kind of my therapy for one fits all kind of thing. So I had to reschedule a lot of things, and cycling is not my priority anymore. So I have to fit it in between my work and appointments, where before I always fitted the appointments around my training. So that's the big difference now. When I go work on TV and the live starts at 2, what I try and do a couple of hours in the morning, or if I can't do it in the morning because live start at 11, I go and do a couple of hours in the evening, and I don't get too frustrated if I only get an hour instead of 3 or 4 hours. It's just about keeping the body and the legs going and going out when I can, and for how long that I need to be flexible, but I just still enjoy going on the bike as much as possible.
Is it strange to change your mentality and take that competitive edge out of cycling?
Well, not really, because I'm actually still kind of racing a little bit. Since the end of July, I've been doing some gravel events. And it kind of scratches an itch just because it's fun. It's something completely new. Also because obviously I don't have the time to train like a professional rider. So it's a good balance to go and challenge myself there. And it's not about riding the Tour de France or riding on the road anymore. It's about going as deep as I can, knowing that I'm not professional and I can't train as much as I should. So it's kind of joining. It's always nice to have some kind of a carrot and a motivation, and it's great to go out on the bike. But unfortunately, when you're competitive all your life, and regardless of what you do. And yes, there was a moment I had to turn the page of racing on the roads. But I discovered gravel in June with my little brother. He loves gravel, and I started doing a little bit of gravel over the winter. And we went on kind of a boys trip to this gravel event in France, and I absolutely loved the idea of the race and not just the adventure side of it. And I guess kind of stuck in July, and now I'm actually going to do quite a few races, going to America in October to go and do some of the bigger gravel races. So it's kind of fun.
Now, you mentioned just there before about, the multiple benefits to just getting out and cycling for fitness. And that's the overall message for this European Week of Sport is to get out and to experience the multiple benefits of exercise and what it can do for you physically and mentally. And it's a really important message to get across, isn't it?
Oh, totally. I'm convinced that if I saw this winter, I wasn't feeling well when I wasn't going out on the bike and exercising as much. I think that there is maybe some kind of dependence over all those years, but generally speaking, like I said, the great thing about cycling is if you want to go for a laugh, you can go for an easy spin with a bunch of friends and have a chat and have the really, really social aspect of it. If you want to go on your own, and in both ways, you can go on your own to absolutely smash it because you're going to train for fitness, but you can also go on your own and take your time and stop and take a photo and just go out for a bit of fresh air, or even just commute, go to A to B. And there's so many good aspects about it. One, for the environment, obviously for your health, but also for your mental strength as well. Like I always said, when I'm feeling bad, I need to go on the bike. But when I'm feeling good, I also need to go on the bike. It really, really covers all aspects.
And one of the great things about the Great Dublin Bike Ride this year is there are two routes. There's one 100 kilometre and one 60 kilometre, for beginners or those who just, want to take a little bit easy on the day. So there's plenty of options for everyone. Everyone is welcome at this event.
Yes, there's two routes. I think it's a great choice, 60 and 100K. It makes it very accessible. So come along and join me and all of us on the day and make it a great fun day.
Yeah, it definitely should be a great fun day. The Great Dublin Bike Ride happening on the 25th of September, as I said, starting and ending in Dublin City University. And for all the details and to register, head to greatdublinbikeride.ie.